guys, this is Desi Neo. Guess where I'm at? I am finally meeting the legend, Abdullah Sameer in Canada. Oh my God, this is long time in the making. I remember last year when I came to Canada, I tried to touch base with him and we couldn't coordinate a time to sit together. But today I was in Canada for a few days, so I said, let me touch base with him, and he agreed to meet with me. So here it is, guys, Abdullah Sameer.
Hey, how's it going?
So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, just get your opinion. I'm not going to go in the past because we already know what the whole story is, your story, because you're famous, everybody knows you. So what we're going to ask you is basically, what do you think of what the situation is right now happening? Because I'll tell you what is going on in the Pakistani community and the Indian community. You know the guy named Sahil? You went to his channel.
Oh, yes.
You know what happened to him? Okay, he has a channel. His channel was blowing up. He was doing opens, and at his open he would get 900 to 1,000 people watching live. You know, that's how big his channel is. It was growing like crazy, and he's criticizing, and you know how it is, his content.
Yeah.
So he invited a bunch of muftis to his channel, and the muftis basically doxed him. They got his information, got his address, home address, and then they did a stream and doxed his whole identity and put it out on the internet. And now he had to actually reveal his face and all that stuff. So that whole situation happened. So I wanted to know, what do you think about, like, since you're open, you show your face and all that stuff, what do you think about how can we protect the identities of these people who are still doing what they have to do, but they have to be in fear for their life, especially in India and Pakistan?
Yeah, so that's unfortunately one of the costs of doing business, so to speak. Being an activist is always a risk of being exposed. You know, Hazrat Sultan went through similar as well. I've been lucky so far, and so that, I mean, some people do know where I live and stuff like that, but no one's posted my details online. I was threatened once by someone that knew where I worked. Thankfully, I don't work there anymore. I got a new job. But like at the time, he knew where I worked, and I'm being. So I think us fellow activists, people that are doing stuff that is, you know, dangerous in the sense that people don't like what we're saying. You know, being in Canada, we have the safety to say what we want. We have the freedom of expression, freedom of belief, but there's still things they can do to us, right, to make our lives more difficult. Like you said, in Pakistan, in India, it's even worse. But over here, what can they do is they can cause legal issues with the office, for example. Like most of us, we're not doing this full time. I'm not doing this full time. You know, my office was called when I worked in my last company, and they said, oh, this guy, I don't even know what they said. He's a bad guy. He's attacking Muslims. They lied. They said I'm attacking Muslims, not attacking Islam. But whatever they said, you know, maybe they said he's an Islamophobe, he's a bigot. They tried to make the company feel uncomfortable so that they would lay me off, and that I was a bad representative of the company. The company had a meeting, and thankfully they decided that what I do in my spare time is none of their business, and it doesn't represent them. What I'm doing at the office represents them, and that's when I'm in that role. All of us have personal lives. So the thing I would say is, unfortunately, you have to be super, super careful, and it really requires a level of technical sophistication that most of us are not even aware of. In the sense that you need to talk to someone that is a technical person. You have to be careful of when you upload your photos that you don't use geo-tracking when you upload them. Most of the time, Facebook and Instagram and stuff, they will ask you, or they will hide the location data. But like sometimes you might upload to your blog or something, a picture, and you don't even think about it, and someone like looks at the location from that. Or sometimes, you know, people will use phishing attacks against you. They will target you. They will try to use forgot password on your account. There's so many different directions that we head at. So
I remember in your case, the one of the directions where they hit Sahil with is the same thing they used with you. One of your friends
yes.
And with Sahil, one of his friends basically exposed his information to the muftis and all that stuff. So they go through your family, they go through your friends.
Yeah, so in my case, because my face is out there, it's easy to know everything about me. It's easy to identify me. In the case of someone that's like behind the scenes, it's a little bit more difficult, and I don't know how. I'm guessing this person that knew Sahil, you know, I don't even know the details, the backstory, what happened. That's unfortunate that happened, and obviously he had to stop what he's doing. I think there's some basic steps we all have to take. That and you know, obviously consult an expert, because I think the biggest weakness is usually technical, because we're all exposed. We don't realize how exposed we are. Like our privacy, most people don't have privacy, but they don't realize it. So,
Well, would you agree? In my opinion, this sort of behavior, doxing and all that, is a sign of desperation. Like when you can't confront a problem face on, you go behind your back. So doxing and letting out somebody's information is like the lowest form of
yeah.
battle.
Yeah.
You know, you're in the battle, you're in the arena of thoughts.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Bring your thoughts, we'll bring our thoughts, let's see who wins. But when you get down to doxing, that means you lost the battle already. You can't confront the intellectually.
And this is kind of like a sort of almost like a dog whistle, sort of enabling it, because they know that, you know, they can't actually physically hurt us, but if they post the information online, then some crazy person, they'll put it, some crazy person. And I won't say the name, but there's actually a guy I know from my previous life as a Muslim, and he calls himself Imam now. And this guy, he intentionally, like, every time I talk to him on Twitter, on Facebook, he would purposely say something that would hint information about me, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you are such a, I'm not going to say what, because you know why I'm not putting my real information out there, because you yourself as a Muslim, I had Muslims tell me, like, be careful.
These are called frenemies instead of frenemies.
Yeah,
you know?
and this guy, like, he knows that, you know, I think for some reason, probably because, you know, some of my family still identifies as Muslim, when this first doxing thing happened to me, probably because they realize I'm the breadwinner of the family, that getting me affected in terms of my income would hurt the other family members.
Okay.
So many Muslims supported me. Many prominent Muslims, including Asadullah, Ijaz, Ahmed, they actually told off this person not to dox me. So this actually was a viable, like, this guy had actual details about me, like real information that I confirmed. This was like legit, right? Now, of course, thankfully, that information is now useless. But at that point, it was and those Muslims actually came to support me. So not everyone agrees with this. Unfortunately, it happens, and some people, like you said, they get desperate. I don't know. It's just unfortunate, right? Like,
I'm gonna ask you like a couple of more questions, and that's it. The one question I would ask is, what do you see the future of this movement of, like, people moving away from Islam, this activism, ex-Muslim movement, or whatever you want to call it? What do you see happening in the next 2 years, 3 years down the road? How do you see this evolving over time?
I think the doxing thing is going to become a non-issue because everyone's going to be out. I think it's going to be so common that, to be honest, we might not even need an ex-Muslim label. The whole label is needed right now because we're still such a minority, and we need a distinct identity to really, like a call out, a call to action, right? It's like, I'm ex-Muslim, like, this is who I am, and I'm here to stay, and I'm not going anywhere, right? It's a brand, right? At some point, I truly hope that Muslim will be inclusive of ex-Muslim. So someone will just say, yeah, I'm Muslim, and they don't even care about Islam, and they're just like, yeah, I'm Muslim. But, like, no one has an issue with that. You're Muslim, but you don't pray. Yeah, I don't pray, I don't really believe, but I'm Muslim. Like, I have family members right now, I'm not going to mention who are in that exact situation where they will laugh about Allah because they don't believe in it. They make jokes about hell, but they still call themselves Muslim. They don't know what else to call it. They're like, you know, what, I don't know what to call myself. I was thinking in my mind, well, you could call yourself ex-Muslim, but at the same time, I think that label implies activism, and some people don't want to be activists. And I understand that. Like, it's not for everybody, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm just Muslim, but I don't care about religion. It's just I'm Muslim because of my heritage, my upbringing. That is what Hassan Radwan was trying to do all along.
Yeah. Hassan Radwan.
With agnostic Muslim, but agnostic Muslim never caught on. Agnostic Jew is very reasonable. People understand. Yeah,
Even
I'm agnostic Jew.
Ali Rizvi, he had the book Atheist Muslim or something like that. But that label never caught on. But I'm going to close with this final question, which is going to be the fun question. When do you think these Muslim apologists are going to stop putting science inside the Quran? I mean, enough of the whole science in the Quran. It has become such a ridiculous thing now that anything new that is discovered automatically is found in the Quran 1400 years ago. So when do you see, because I know this was one of the big parts of you questioning the religion, when do you think they're going to stop with this whole, the Prophet already knew this 1400 years ago?
Yeah, I think we're already seeing we're already seeing that in its death throes, right? Many scholars, not scholars, I shouldn't even say scholars, many Dawa guys have started to abandon this idea, most prominently Hamza Sortis.
Hamza Sortis,
yeah. And he's having a trickle effect because he's training, Aida is doing a lot of Dawa training. And so they're training dais, not dais means like propagandists or apologists or whatever, not to use this language because it's very futile. It falls apart very easily. The reason we should acknowledge why they want to use it though. They want to use it because it's powerful, and the reason it's powerful is because it's an external confirmation of internal message of Islam. So it's like saying, well, you want proof? Here's the proof right before your eyes, right? Without that, what do you have? You don't have anything. You have, the language is a miracle. Okay, but what does that mean? I don't even speak Arabic. Yeah, but they understood that, so therefore it's a miracle.
But have you noticed, like, even though the people like you're talking about, they tell you not to use science in the Quran,
yeah,
but they never go against their tribe. It's like tribalism. Even though they'll see the other the da'i or other mullah or say this sort of stuff. Oh, Quran says this, and they'll see it. They'll not agree with it, but they won't confront it. They won't deny it. They'll be like, because they don't want to go against their own people.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that even the educated Muslims and the apologists, they won't use that scientific miracle thing, but at the same time, when somebody else is using it, they'll be quiet. They'll just like nod their head and they won't say anything, which is kind of frustrating. You're like, you are an educated person. Why don't you tell the guy like not to use that?
There was that video I saw on Hamza's Den.
Oh,
right, that was amazing. Where they were like, Hakika Jew was like, that's wrong. That's wrong, and then the other guys on the panel were like looking at Hamza like,
But anyway, this was an amazing thing. Really, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I was wanting to meet you for a while and finally got to meet you. So, with that, if you have any last words you want to say to my audience is mostly from Pakistan and India. So, I mean, you do a lot of work in ex-Muslim community, and the people from Pakistan are just starting to do this work. So, there's been my channel. There's a couple of Haris Sultan is a very prominent channel. Ghalib Kamal, Gulzar Elia. There's a few people who are speaking in Urdu and creating content, and there's a bunch of Indian channel like Sahil you mentioned. They are creating content in Hindi. So this movement is just basically gaining traction in India and Pakistan. So what would your advice be to those guys?
Yeah, I would say, honestly, keep up the good fight. Be patient, be strong. Don't lose hope. I mean, it's a very difficult situation to be in. Obviously, like, depending on where you live, you may have a lot of frustration about not being able to speak about what you want to speak about. Don't take any unnecessary risks. There'll always be time to work on this. Just put yourself first, put your life first. And then, if you have the ability to speak about it in your language especially, I mean, that's the most valuable thing of all. Speaking to your own community. And obviously keep learning, keep studying, keep reading. Don't get obsessed with Islam. I mean, there's going to be a phase where I think we all get obsessed with it. But keep reading about things other than Islam, like science and history and philosophy, and enjoy yourself, enjoy some time outside, enjoy time with your family and your kids if you have kids, or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is. Live your life. Don't make the activism the entire thing. Make it a part of your life. It's important and we need this, but also enjoy your life. So that would be my
all right. With that, thank you, Sameer. Thank you. Appreciate your time, and we'll let you go. Guys, if you have any comments, any question for him, make sure you put it in the comment below. He's going to be on that stream and he's going to answer some of the questions that you have. So definitely leave your question. Okay. And with that, take care.